Hi guys, welcome to Cranble. Today we are joined by a very special guest, Nitisha Patel, who's going to teach us how to do some amazing Indian cookery. This is something that's putting me right out of my comfort zone. So welcome to Cranble.
Thank you.
Right, what are we doing? What's first?
So first we are going to do my Lamb Hariyali.
Okay.
It's a lamb curry, but it's quite different because it's got a green sauce, which is quite aromatic.
Okay.
It's quite fresh, so it's a coriander, mint, and a baby spinach sauce.
Oh, sounds delicious.
Can you start deboning the lamb leg?
Absolutely.
And just take the meat off the bone.
Yep.
And we want that diced into 1-inch cubes.
Right, you work on this side because you're going to make a paste.
That's right.
Awesome,
I'm gonna
right.
do the marinade for that, you do the lamb.
Awesome. Whose phone's on? Oh, I see your phone.
So sorry.
So why are you doing that? Tell me what you're up to, what you've been up to.
So I've currently launched my first cookbook.
Awesome.
Which is called My Modern Indian Kitchen. It's available globally. There's recipes in there like a masala fish pie.
Oh wow, so really mixing it up, sort of westernising it almost. Is that okay, Chef?
That's perfect, yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. Master Chef Loser got it right this time. I'm going to teach you a Cranble hack.
Go on then.
You might have this as well.
Okay, yeah,
You
I've
might
seen
hate it as
this.
Because it works. But you can't do it with cheap takeaway containers because they pow off all over there.
How's that work, Chef? It actually has.
There you go, see. And then with the chilies, do we keep the chilies whole? Do you put the seeds in? Is it everything?
Yeah. Everything apart from the stalks. Get rid of the stalks and it can all go in. Seeds, everything, just because it adds that kick.
She wouldn't like doing it. She
I
won't
don't
have it.
like the spoon thing.
She won't have it. I'm not going to argue. She looks fiery. Who's got your yellow pages?
No, I'm all right there.
I'm sorry, just kidding.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So in terms of oil, I'd say about 1 or 2 tablespoons.
Okay.
That's perfect. And salt, I mean, it's not specific, but you know, just a good pinch. About,
Yeah.
that's about half a spoon there, and then mix it together. So we've got the yogurt. Now, yogurt's brilliant for marinades when it comes to red meats, just because it tenderises.
Yep.
So it's always important to use your yogurt, and it adds great flavour as well.
Yep.
So into that, I'm going to add in a nice teaspoon of some sea salt there. I'm going to go in with a teaspoon of turmeric. Turmeric's great for adding flavour. Next, ground coriander, a teaspoon of ground cumin. And finally, a teaspoon of garam masala. Then I'm going to go in with 2.5 teaspoons of this gorgeous paste that we made earlier.
Lovely.
Just to add some fresh heat. I'm just going to bring that together with some oil. If you have gram flour, use that as well because that adds a lovely toasty note. If not, plain flour is just fine. So about a tablespoon of that.
Lovely. And then we get involved with this, do we?
We do. So next I'm going to mix it all together just because I don't want any pockets of flour, I don't want any lumps.
This just wants to get it all out, and then we're just got to cover all this lamb.
Yep.
Mush that about. Right, so that goes in the fridge, or do we leave it out to marinate?
I would leave it out for an hour.
Right.
But if you are doing it overnight, let it all more than an hour, sit it in the fridge. But that'll
Okay,
be
cool.
perfect
So
for
we'll leave that out. And then, right, we'll move on to the next part of this recipe.
So we're going to go in with about 5 tablespoons of vegetable oil. So first thing we're going to do now is go in with the cassia bark, which is the outer part of cinnamon. Then we're going to go in with 2 star anise, 6 cloves, and 6 cardamom pods. They've sizzled nicely. Next, I'm going to go in with my cumin seeds.
Lovely.
So that's about half a teaspoon there. Straight away, they've sizzled nicely. And then next, we're going to go in with our fresh spices. So I've got some ginger julienne, which I'm going to go in with. Coat that in the oil and let that brown nicely. Next, I'm going to go in with some slithers of garlic. So that's about 2 cloves there, Chef. So that is the base of the curry sauce. Next, I'm going to go in with the onions.
Yeah.
So that's 1 onion, medium chopped.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off with about half a teaspoon.
You use nearly as much salt as me. I love it.
Good. So as you can see, they're nicely browned. That's going to add a depth of flavour to the sauce now. So next stage, we're going to go in with the lamb. Just want to get that nice and sealed. If
Teamwork makes the dream work.
It does indeed.
There you go.
There we go. So I'm going to pop that back onto the heat. You want a nice hot pan and let that lamb seal nicely in there. I'm going to coat it in those spices, those onions, that seasoned oil. So as you can see, the meat's nicely brown, which means when we're going with the liquid, we're not going to lose any of that flavour because the meat's been sealed and all of that meat flavour's been locked in now.
Lovely.
So the next stage is to build on that sauce. So we're going to do that with some tomato puree first. I'm going to go in with 2.5 tablespoons of that. So I'm mixing it in there. And And I'll give that a good 5 minutes to cook out. So next I'm gonna go in with my fresh tomatoes. So that's 2 medium-sized tomatoes, they're medium chopped. I'm not precious about the seeds, I'm gonna stick it all in just because it's a curry. I'm gonna mix that well, and then we're just gonna let that soften. That's been simmering for a good 20 minutes now, and as you can see, the tomatoes have nicely melted away, they've dissolved. We've got this gorgeous oil slick happening, so that means the meat's releasing their natural oils as well.
There's so many different flavours going on.
Yeah.
Well, actually, there is quite a lot of warmth there in the back of your throat.
Yeah. Can you see that oil slick and that velvety texture as well? Next step now is to add in a bit of water, just because I want to let it stew for a little bit longer.
Okay.
So it depends on how you want your sauce and the sort of thickness you're going for.
Okay.
Now I like that thickness for me is fine.
Yeah.
But I do want to let it simmer for a little bit longer. So we're going to go in with about 500 ml of water. I don't want to dilute the flavour too much. I just want to just about coat the meat, just because it's going to sit for a good hour.
Okay.
So that should be enough water. Mix it really well.
Are we lid on now, or do we leave the lid off?
Lid on.
Lid on.
Lid on.
An hour.
An hour.
On a nice, gentle simmer. And then we should be ready to rock and roll.
Yes.
Awesome. Right, well, join us back here in an hour. Your lamb has been braising for about an hour and a half.
Yes, it has been.
And it looks stunning.
Just almost starting to fall off the bone there, which is a good indication that it's perfectly cooked, it's tender.
I'm picking some mint. That's what I made earlier. So we're going to go with the mint. What else?
Some fresh coriander. So that was about half a bunch of mint and half a big bunch of coriander.
That's right.
And we're going to go in with 400 grams of spinach. I think we're done now, yeah? Yep, blitz that.
That's it. On.
So next that gets added into the curry.
All of it?
All of it. So it is called a hariyali, which means green. So it's a lamb hariyali, and that green element's being added by this puree. So it will transform the dish instantly, as you'll see. I'm just going to mix it really well so it gets distributed. So I'm just going to go in with half a lemon squeezed. Shit, sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. Tell me what the dish is.
So this is my lamb hariyali.
Lamb Hariyali from Nitisha Patel. Thank you so much. I can't wait to get stuck into this.
No,
Find the
thank
recipe
you.
on the website, guys.